Hello and welcome to my studio. My name is Matthew Palmer. We are here with the craft store and we're going to do some watercolour painting for the next hour-ish. Call this the watercolour show, so enjoy it. Enjoy it. Loads of stuff, loads of hints, loads of tips, loads of tutorials, loads of offers, because yes, this show is full of offers as well. So if you want to purchase anything that we're using in the show, do take note of this sort of little bit here, because not only does that show you the website where you can go and order the products, but also it will tell you a discount code that will get you 10% off, which is quite good. So not only can you pick up some cool stuff, you can get 10% off, and what you do to get 10% off is you enter the code craft store, no space, just craft store, no space. In fact, there it is right now. Look at that, perfect timing. Use code craft store, 10% off. Now that does expire at midnight on the 15th of March, so only a few days to take advantage of that offer. Everything of course is on the website, all the W's, watercolor.tv. And I'm here in the studio and I'm surrounded by arty stuff, so we'll do a bit of a virtual tour of the studio, shall we? We'll take a look at what we've got, because I'm looking forward to this one. It's been a month since we've done anything live with the craft store, so yeah, let's have a look at what we've got. Let's have a look at some of the offers that you might potentially want to take advantage of. So first of all, let's just quickly run down the palette here. So we've got the palette here. Now I've got some brushes that we don't see that often, so these are quite a special brush. Now these are called Matthew Palmer Sky and Cloud brushes. You can see here there's the large and the small. Now these are beautiful brushes made from a synthetic sable. It's just nice to stroke. If you're feeling a bit depressed, stroke Matthew Palmer Sky and Cloud brush and you'll be happy as anything. It's a very unique brush with this special flat top to it, but it's got an angle. So from that view, if you look at the brush there, it looks like a normal everyday round watercolour brush, but once we rotate it, you can see it's got this special slope, which is designed for painting clouds and skies. Now you get these in a pack of 2. So what you get here, you get a set of 2, you get a large and a small sky and cloud brush. Now we've put a bit of an exclusive offer on these, because not only can you get 10% off these brushes with the code that you see at the bottom of the screen in a minute or two, craft store, no space. We should mention, if you're a Watercolor TV member, you can get a further 10% off, so you can save 20% today. But what we've done to make these a little bit special for you today is we've put together a bit of a promotional pack. So I want to show you this. Let me see if I can jump onto the website and show you this. We'll be painting very soon, so do stick with us. But if you go to the website, I have popped the links in the descriptions for all of this, so don't worry about it. But if you go to the art shop and you come down to watercolor brushes, if you purchase them before midnight on the 15th of March 2025, use the code craft store, and not only will it get you the brushes, which are $19.95, but it will also come with a free how to paint skies tutorial, which retails at $24.99. so you're going to get a free, it's a 90-minute video lesson included. That's only up until the 15th, so something quite special to take part in. So that's the sky and cloud brushes, and you'll see them in action very soon as well, and you can see them being used here to paint various things. So they are really special brushes, very unique, make painting skies and just general day-to-day watercolor painting nice and easy. So do make sure you have a look at those. And here they are again, Matthew Palmer Sky and Cloud brushes, very special, super high quality brushes. So we've got those, which is quite nice. We've also got a bit of an offer that's running, the brand new product, which is the Watercolor Magic Mask. Now this is superb stuff. Now we've been using this quite a bit recently, so let me open the packet. So what you get here is 2 special brushes made from a special bristle that prevents the actual fluid sticking, which is great. But we've got this you get a lovely glass bottle of Watercolor Magic Mask, which is quite a new product. It's masking fluid that's been massively enhanced and brought up to modern standards. So this also comes with a free video. Now this retails at $4.99, so it's a very reasonable little pack. You get a bottle of it, you get the 2 brushes, And of course, this is for keeping areas of your watercolour paintings nice and dry and nice and light. So do have a look, and we're going to see that in action with the brushes very, very soon. But remember, the links are in the description if you want to pick up any of this. Everything has got 10% off with the code Craft Store, which is brilliant. Now, if you are a Watercolour TV member, you can also get a further 10% off, making 20% off, which is a great way to buy anything from watercolor.tv. But I think it's about time we did a bit of painting. Yes, it is. That's what you're here for, not to listen to me waffle about discounts and all sorts of stuff. We're going to do a few bits, if I'm honest. I've got a sheet of watercolour paper here. This is 1/4 imperial in size. Size doesn't matter. That's what I keep telling myself. You can hear the wind blowing in the breeze, the silence. But anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to do something on here. We're going to paint something with the sky and cloud brushes. We're going to see these in action. I love these brushes. They're very special, and a lot of time and effort went into manufacturing these, so do enjoy them, do enjoy them. But before we do that, we're going to put a bit of masking fluid on. We're going to protect a few areas of this painting. Now this is, it's not just any old masking fluid. Like I say, it's called Magic Mask. It's very special stuff. It is thicker than standard masking fluid. It's heat resistant. It doesn't clog up your brushes. And most importantly, you can see where you stick it, because it's got, if I cover my face, you'll get the focus. It's this lovely kind of turquoise Watercolour TV branding. This is actually made here in Derbyshire, so we're very proud of this. And it is a wonderful substance to use. So we can see here, there it is, lovely clear masking. If we jump to this camera, we can see it nice and close up. And what we're going to do is protect a little area of the picture on this particular one. And I think what we're going to do is do a bit of a lighthouse, actually. Yeah, that'd be nice. Let's have a lighthouse, shall we? So let's get a bit closer in, shall we? We'll zoom this, because we are live. So we're zooming live. We've not got a cameraman. The cameraman is Mr. Palmer. Yes. What we're going to do here is we're going to do a little bit of a lighthouse scene. So we're going to protect the top section. We're going to come down here. And we're just going to protect. Now, even on the screen here, you can see, can't you, exactly where I'm putting the fluid. And the brushes are made out of a thick synthetic bristle, which also means that it's clear and it'll wash off. But as a safety measure, I always say you don't want to be doing much more than, say, 2 minutes worth of painting before you kind of rinse the brush in the water. Now remember, it does come with the brushes too. We'll go, moving to the smaller brush now. Let's give it a rinse. I'll move to the smaller brush, and I'm going to pop a little bit of detail on this. That's what I want to do here. Is we're going to just give that a little bit of a head, top, and we'll also put the little. It's lovely thick fluid, so it's dead easy to put on, but it doesn't stain, it doesn't rip, and I just love the fact that it's heat resistant, so you can use hair dryers with it. It does come with a free video, I mentioned that, so it comes with a video as well. We're going to do a little bit of splattering here. I'll do a little bit of spattering, just a bit of a tap, a bit of a bounce, because I want some splashes. There we go. Might just emphasize that a little bit and just put a bit more on. So I'll put a little bit of splashing water. I've got some splatters and all sorts of random things happening here. It's all kicking off here in the studio. So we'll just give it a bit of a tappy tap tap tap. So that'll give us a lovely effect of some nice crashing waves. And again, a bottle of this will last you forever. Keep the lid on. It's a lovely quality thing. The bottle comes with a QR code. I'll cover it up so you don't use it, but it does come with a QR code which gives you access to a video of how to use it as well, which is quite nice. Now I did mention that it is heat resistant, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to lean over there and grab my heat gun, crafty heat gun, and we're going to give it a dry. While it's drying off, the audio will kick off because these microphones treat this as noise. So what I want to do is I'm going to tell you a joke. If you can lip read, you're good to go. I've got to tell you this one, my favourite joke of all time. I want to tell it you right now, okay? While I dry this off, this is the joke. Your grandma. I love that joke. Brilliant. It's brilliant. Listen, that's nice and dry. Nice and dry. Nice and dry. Now, if there's any bits on your brush, just literally just pull it off. Just pick it off, pick it off, pick it off. And that is Watercolor Magic Mask. It's a modern version of masking fluid. It comes in a little bag. It comes with a video. Comes with the brushes. All four. I think it's $4.99. We're going to take a look at this. Remember, you can take advantage of the discount code today. So feel free to go onto the website. I'll show you how you can order it. There is a link in the description, but if you want to get hold of it, you go to Art Shop and you go to Watercolor Equipment. That's where you want to be going, Watercolor Equipment. And literally there it is, Magic Mask. You can buy it on its own for £3.50, or for $4.99 you can buy it with the brushes, the special brushes. You can use any brushes, but these brushes are dedicated for it. And it comes with a video that shows you how to paint this as well, which is quite nice. So you get that included as well. So yeah, check it out. It's great stuff. Now, that's all dry and happy days. What we're going to do as well is use a bit of masking tape here. And we're going to take the stickiness away. And we're going to put this just at the base of the lighthouse. We're going to paint a little mini vignette here. And I'm going to show you these in actions. These are the sky and cloud brushes. We're going to use those. Remember, these have got a great little deal. If you pick them up today, it comes with a video, which is exclusive to this craft store broadcaster. You get a video with about 25 quid, showing you all different skies. That's included. That's included with it. That gets sent via email once you place the order, okay? So yeah, very proud of these brushes. Lovely quality, a gorgeous synthetic sable. You can use them for day-to-day painting, because I think that one of the big advantages of these, if you look at the brush here, the small one, look at it on the side, and it's very pointy. It's a very pointy brush. But if you rotate it that way, it's got that lovely sort of blade to it. And that's the same with the large one as well. On the side, it's very pointy, but rotate it and it's got that. And that is what makes the painting the skies that little bit more enjoyable and easy. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to use the large brush. Make sure it's nice and clean, and we're going to wet the top of the paper. So it's a good brush for putting the water on, full stop. We're going to work on the top section here, and we're going to paint in a lovely dramatic sky next to this lighthouse, making use of masking fluid and all sorts of splashes and splatters that we added. Now that masking fluid, again, it's repelling the water. The paper is my own paper. Everything's available on here, and everything's got that little discount on, so do check it out. So plenty of water is what we need, which is good. Once that's on, I think we're all good. We can use that brush now to paint the sky in. So let's jump over to the palette. Let's pick a few colours. I've got all my paints here. They're all my own branded paints, natural colours. They're all available. Every colour is available online as well. So do take advantage and enjoy those as well. And I think I'm going to go for something nice and colourful. So I'm going to go for this colour, which is natural orange. You could use any orange, but this is my own colour called natural orange on the brush. And we'll get a bit closer in, I think, so you can see what we're doing. So we're going to focus the effort on the sky here. And we're going to get some dramatic sort of skies and things coming up here. Get plenty of colour around there. Now, it's this angle that makes painting skies easier. You can use it for day-to-day, but look how pointy the brush is. It's a lovely pointy, so it's good for detail as well. A little bit of a different kind of brush to what you're possibly used to here. And again, I'd say it's something that's really, really enjoyable. Really enjoyable to use. Back to the palette, nice clean brush. Just a good wash brush, you know, a good brush for putting the skies on. But if you pinch it, look how it goes like a love. Look at that. You can make the brush the perfect shape for clouds. That's what we're talking about here. So now it does come with a video that's got 4 lessons on it on how to paint 4 different skies. That's included. That will get sent to you via email. We've gone for a bit of a dark, deep blue now. I'll just put a bit of red with that. So that's actually natural blue with a little bit of red. I'll just put a bit of red to make it a slight purpley tinge. Back to this then. What we're going to do here is we're going to continue to sweep. It's a nice sweep coming through. Now as it comes down towards the lighthouse, get plenty of coverage for obvious reasons. And we can now bring some, look how quick and easy that went in for a gorgeous sky. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to jump back to the palette and we're going to put some clouds in and show you how the brush makes painting clouds that little bit easier. We're going to use natural grey. Now natural grey is a gorgeous colour for shadows. It's the official shadow colour. It's the only colour that exists that is designed for shadows. And if we sort of wipe the brush on the side, because it's a synthetic sable, it just soaks up the colour. So a very strong grey is what we're looking at here. Now what you'll notice about the brush is I'm going to make use of this blade. That's the trick, that's the secret to this. The video will talk about it, that you get included, and we're going to basically use that. And look how simple it is to do. Oh, it's just such a pleasure to have this brush. This little technique that we're doing here, this little sort of twisty sky technique, it's been, let's say it's been tried and tested around the country, around the world for that matter, by me. It's been taught to hundreds if not thousands of people over the years. A lot of people find it difficult to do, which is why I wanted to make a brush that made this process a little bit easier. Again, plenty of colour around the masking fluid, but a great advantage of this brush as well, not only does it make this cloud effect easy to do, but also what it does is it allows you to go back and put highlights in, because that's what really makes this thing work. Let's get plenty of colour towards the bottom of this little seascape here. Now over here I've got a pound coin, an old pound coin wrapped in a piece of kitchen paper. I want to put a bit of a sort of hazy moon on just up there. I've just kind of stamped that on. That's quite effective. I'll come back to the brush and pop a little cloud over the top of that. Now we've got the small brush, so far we've just used the big one. Give that a bit of a clean. Pop that there. Got the small one here, which is exactly the same, just quite a lot smaller. Good for detail. Again, using grey, natural grey, beautiful colour. I just want to get a little bit of refinement in this. So I just want to make sure I've got a little bit of dark coming in here. Just give it a bit of a twist. Get some little extra clouds coming down. So it does exactly the same thing, but it's the perfect shape for doing it. What we can then do is we can then use either brush but squeezed. Squeeze the brush so it almost goes like a blade. Look how that's gone like a thin, like an axe kind of blade. It's a really nice little thing to do. You can see it probably better on this camera here actually. If I cut to this camera you can see that lovely kind of blade, and we can make use of that. We can put some highlights in this thing. The sun's gone down, it's illuminating. You could even wipe off a little bit of beam coming out at Lighthouse. Get a bit of a beam on your lighthouse. So basically, because it's such a vivid bristle, because it's got that look at the shape of it, you can actually wipe away the colour with ease, and it's such a lovely effect for doing something like this. So do check these out. Look at that. You've got a beam. You've got a beam, and we can put as many little bits of blending as you want on the base of the skies here, the clouds, etc. You can soften them in. You could even get a bit of rain coming down. Look at that, stunning. Look at that. bit of rain. So it's all there, and the small brush will do the same. So it's kind of rinse and repeat, I guess. The small brush is doing exactly the same. It's allowing us to soften and blend in any little bits of colour that we just want to manipulate a little bit. Maybe get a bit of a highlight catching from the moon or something. But look how that's given a lovely effect. And again, it's just a case of dragging out the colour as much as you want to. The rain is coming now, it's throwing it down. This paper's almost dry, but it's still letting me drag out the paint, which is really effective. Lovely. Okay, I'm just going to give that a moment to dry. So that's kind of how we can do these lovely skies in watercolours using... I think I want to say it's the world's first brush that's dedicated to painting skies, right? It's got to be. It's got to be. It's called the Sky and Cloud brush. So check them out, enjoy it. It's there for you to have and play with. Now again, I'm just going to lean over and get the hairdryer and give it a bit of a blast. There we go. Now, we've not got a huge amount of stock of those, I'll be honest with you. So, and already I think we've probably sold, yeah, so about 20% of the stock we've allocated to this offer is gone, the ones with the video. So do check those out and enjoy them. The Magic Mask, again, 35% of the stock has gone on those. The little packs, remember to use the code to get 10% off. Now, behind me, while that's drying, behind me we have a painting of, which you might recognize. This is actually Monet's bridge. Let's fetch it in, let's bring it in. Now this was painted on the weekend. Monet's famous bridge, the famous lily pond with the little water lilies, and the famous bridge in France. Now this was obviously used in the infamous painting that Monet did, and it was actually his garden. Now, I guess some of you might have been to this location. It's a beautiful place to go, and it's a lovely place to visit. We painted this on Sunday. I say we, I painted it and I taught it as a virtual workshop, which brings me on to the next point, because this weekend, this Sunday, which will be the 16th, Sunday the 16th, let me have a sip of tea. Cheers. It's definitely tea, that. It's not whiskey. It smells like whiskey and tastes like whiskey, but it's tea. Drunkenpainting.com, that's what we're doing here. The workshop that's coming up this weekend is right here. Sunday the 16th of March, we are painting the Shambles, the famous Shambles in York. We're going to virtually travel all the way to York. Beautiful place, the medieval street. I guess a lot of you have probably already been to the Shambles over the years. It's such a beautiful place to visit. Now, the Shambles are the inspiration, were the inspiration for Diagon Alley in the Harry Potter novels. And I thought it'd be a lovely subject to paint. I've visited there many, many, many times over the years, and it is a beautiful place. So if you'd like to have a go at painting this with me, this Sunday, the 16th of March, we're going to do a virtual watercolour workshop of that infamous street. Here's more information. On the website, what you need to do, right at the top, if you look close here, let me just do a little bit of zoomy. You can see here, in 3 days and 21 hours, 31 minutes, that's when the workshop's going to happen. And there's a big button at the top of the screen. You can hover over the top of it and it'll flash at you. Can't beat a good flash. Click that. That'll take you to the page where you can book the workshop. We've only got about 14 or 15 spaces left for this one. It's a virtual workshop, so basically you can be sat at home and you paint along live, or here's the thing, you don't have to be there live. If you can't make it there live, then don't worry, because it's yours to keep forever. Once the workshop is broadcasting, it stays with you, so it becomes part of your account on the website watercolor.tv. It's free to sign up to Watercolor TV to make any purchase, so do check it out. It's going to be lovely. It's a full step-by-step workshop with downloadable drawing, so once the drawing's done you can download it. It's even got an optional after workshop chill out and critique session, which is totally optional. You don't have to get involved in that, but what that means is once the workshop's ended we say bye, and then we actually go back and do a little bit of like a bit of a virtual chill out where people send the paintings in to me and we sit here and we talk about them. That's optional. You don't have to do that, but it's there. Like I say, only about 14-15 spaces left for that one, folks, so do check it out. Links are in the description for everything we're talking about. If not, just as mentioned, jump onto the website and all you do is go to the top of the screen, the big button there, click it, and that will take you straight to the page where you can actually book your space. It's only £12 and £2 of that's VAT. So it used to be a tenner at one time. Now it happens live, but it's yours to keep. Once it's yours to keep forever. That's the thing I have to mention. The rule, what we tend to see, the sort of script tends to be about half, sometimes a bit less than half of the people actually do the workshop live, and the others sort of do it just whenever kind of thing. So it's great. And that's how that painting of the bridge was. That was a virtual workshop last weekend. You can go back and purchase that. You can go back and purchase any of the workshops by simply going again on the website and go to workshops, and previous, all 214 previous workshops are available to go and order. Instant access. Instant access. That's what we're talking about. Now we're talking about this, aren't we? Because this is nice and dry now. This is great. This is all nice and dry, all good to go. And what we're going to do, come a bit closer, and we're going to paint in some rocks and various things using the same brushes, using the sky and cloud brush, using the small sky and cloud brush at this point. We're going to be using some natural grey again. Again, all the colours are available as well. So there's natural grey. And we're going to paint in. So you can see the brush is very pointy. I'm going to put some little rocks on. There was a few rocks, right? A few rocks over here, cliffs and rocks. We'll put some other colours into these in a minute. We'll go along the edge. Down there. And we'll work his way up towards this splashes at the top. Now, that's all very grey. It's all very one colour at the minute. So I just want to add a bit more interest to that. So if we jump over to the palette, what I want to do is bring in, let's get some of that orange in, to be honest, because that's in the sky. We'll use it. Makes sense to use that. So I'll bring some orange in. Get a bit of that in. Give it a good scrub. Now, what I'm doing with the orange, folks, is I'm mixing the colours on the paper here. So I'm allowing the paint to mix. So I'm getting tinges of orange and various things here. So it's a bit of a mixed grill of colours coming through. And I want to give this a bit of variation as well. So as well as doing that, I'm going to use at the back of the studio, I've got all sorts of, I nearly said crap, but I didn't. I've got a little plastic card from a famous hotel chain. You shouldn't pinch your hotel key cards. I don't do it. Do as I say, don't do as I do. We'll get close into this. And what we're going to do is use this to kind of come down and scrape off some little boulders and little rocks and various things. Just give it a bit of shape, I suppose, really, you know? Make it look as though the moon's catching one side of it, possibly, and give it a bit of, you know, stuff. It's effective. It's effective. There you go. Come back with the camera, and then what we'll do is we'll remove the masking tape. Now this masking tape, people ask me about masking tape all the time. It's a very interesting subject, is masking tape. There it is. Now I have had a 30-year search for a quality masking tape, and this stuff that we sell on Watercolor TV, it's exclusive to us. You can't get this anywhere. It's beautiful. It stays stuck. It comes off with heat or a hairdryer should you need to. It's waterproof. It doesn't seep down the back. So yeah, you can get that on the website as well. But remember, there's 10% off if you're a member of Watercolor TV. You get 20% off because you can use 2 codes. It's a no-brainer. Let's take off the... it's not just any old masking tape, it's quality. Let's look how crisp that is. Crisp and clean. Clean and crisp. Now, you peel it off with extreme care. You peel it off with extreme care. Nice and steady. There you go. No seepage whatsoever, which is quite impressive for a 40-something-year-old guy. I'm impressed with that. There's no seepage at all. I'm right chuffed with that. Right chuffed I am. Now, what I've also got hanging around in the studio somewhere is a little candle here. Well, yeah, it's a bit of wax. It's kind of used to be a candle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that to put some light from the moon reflecting in the sea with this, yeah? So I'm just going to sort of make sure we line it up out there. I'm going to make these lines a bit bigger. And I'm also just going to skim over the top of the water a little bit. And do a reflection of the lighthouse as well. Put a few horizontal lines around maybe. Now, obviously we can't see that. We don't sell wax pens. It's a clear wax crayon, I think, but it's the kind of one that you use to mark up garments and stuff. But it's just wax. It's candle. 4 candles, yeah. Right. So from 4 candles to the masking fluid, which is on there. Now we can take that off. Watercolor magic mask. Remember, it's masking fluid that's been enhanced with various, it's like Coca-Cola. This, it's a secret formula. I can't say what's in this because I'm quite proud. I put a lot of time, about a year, into the development of this. It's heat proof, it's coloured, it's thick, it washes off your brushes. It's pretty special. We're going to use this, which is called, see this, see that this thing, that thing there is called a masking fluid removal tool. You've all got one, hopefully. And you can basically do that. And it comes off. There we go. Now, the first thing I want to do with that is painting the lighthouse itself. So I'm sticking with the same brush, the Sky and Cloud brush, the small one, because it's good enough for detail. We'll get a bit of grey, natural grey. Beautiful for shadows. We'll take some of that. And we're going to paint in the... First of all, we're going to paint in the bottom of the rocks, actually, because they look a little bit... We need to paint over them a little bit. So we're just going to put a little bit of shadow in those. Give it a bit of texture. And then the next thing I want to do is I want to use the brush, very pointy. And I want to come down the edge, the opposite side to the moon. Is that a Pink Floyd album? I don't think it is, but it sounds like a cheap Pink Floyd album. We're going to bring that down. Dark side of the moon, Palmer, dark side of the moon. Bring that down, and we'll clean the brush. 2 taps on tissue. A couple of tappy taps. And then a bit of water. And we're just going to use a bit of water just to give it a soften. Keep that brush nice and clean. Again, I'm using the small Sky and Cloud brush. You can see it's quite a detailed brush. And I'm blending that because I want to keep light. Look how that's got the shape to it already. You can see how we get in the lighthouse. I'm just going to use that plastic card. It's not sponsored by that hotel chain. Other hotel key cards are also good for doing this. Premiering. What we're going to do here is we're going to go along and put the detail under roof. Put it under roof. Bring that down just a little smidge, and then also we're going to go down the edge of the roof as well. Clean the brush in the water. A couple of tappy taps, and literally we're going to use water to blend that over. Can't go, look at that. Special. So just going to go in and give it a bit of a soften, should we need to. But you can see how that's starting to do its job for us, even at this stage of the picture. We can bring as much detail as we like into this. Now, if you're brand new to painting, if you're new to watercolours and you want to, you know, you want to get into painting, but you've got nothing, you've got zero, you don't know where to start, you don't know what you need, have we got something that gives me everything? Gives me paints, brushes, palettes, paper, and tuition. Do you know what? We've got something called the Watercolor TV gift bundle. There's 2 variations of this one. Now, what you can actually get, and this is such a great offer, because not only do you get the paints, the brushes, the paper, the palette, you also get a full year's access to Watercolor TV. Now, what is Watercolor TV? Watercolor TV is a place that is full to the rafters of there's 15 years worth of watercolor tuition. It's basically, think of Netflix, think of Amazon Prime, think of Disney Plus. It's that for watercolor. So on the website here, if we go onto this, you can actually see here the lessons tab, latest lessons. Have a look, have a browse. This is what you get, and there's new stuff added weekly. There's a new video going live tomorrow on here. So there's content, there's watercolor tuition, 15 years worth, there's thousands and thousands of hours worth of footage. You get printable worksheets as well. The members of Watercolor TV, you can have a monthly, annual gift membership. You can buy it for somebody as well, and you can get lifetime membership as well now. So monthly, annual, lifetime and gift membership, it's 50 quid a year. It's really reasonable. However, you can buy this bundle, and I'll show you the bundle. You can buy the bundle, which again, I've popped a link in the description. Now remember, this 10% off this, use code CraftStore no spaces. Go to Art Shop, come down to Watercolor Equipment, and if you go into there, these are the bundles that we've put together. Now these both contain a membership for a year. So this is the only place you're going to get 10% off a membership is right here. You get the set of 3 super point brushes, large, medium and small. You get the 3 primary colours, 15mm tubes, that will last you forever. You get 5 sheets of cotton paper, the same stuff I'm using here, the palette, and you get a full membership to Watercolor TV. Now there's 2 bundles available. That's the starter bundle, which is great, but then we've got this one, which is the ultimate, everything you could ever want in there. So you get all 14 colours, you get the 3 super point brushes, you get the 3 tree and texture brushes, you get the 5 sheets of paper, you get the palette, you get 12 months membership to Watercolor TV, and that is £165. The saving on that, if you buy everything individually, is £72. But remember, you can get a further 10% off both of those bundles if you decided to make use of this offer that we're doing with the craft store. I'm just going to lean over here because this is kind of what you get. You get, I'm just going to grab all this. You basically get all of this stuff here. So you get the 3 watercolor paints, you get the super point brushes, you get the 5 paper, the palette, and the membership. It's great. It's a lovely thing. So do take advantage of that. Right, back to this then. We'll come back to the Lighthouse in a minute. In fact, we might bring in those super point brushes in a minute, but we're just going to put the C on first. We're going to use the large sky and cloud brush here to put the C on. Let's give this a bit of a wipe. So we're going to make use of the orange because that's what we use in the sky. It makes sense to use similar colours. Now we do have wax on here, remember? Wax on, wax off. Karate Kid, beautiful film, beautiful. We're going to whiz across here. Now the wax is already doing its job. It's repelling. Look at the reflection we've got. Beautiful. We'll bring that across. Now that's the orange. We're going to change change colours. Clean that brush out. Really give it a good old rinse. Make sure I put my pound coin away. I'll need that. That's from 1988, that one. How old was I then? About 6, 7, I don't know, something like that. We've got the blue. Bit of blue. That's the same blue from the sky. The one that had the bit of red in it. We're going to bring some of that in. We'll bring that across. Look how the wax is repelling the paint. It's lovely, isn't it? We can refine this. It's gorgeous how it just keeps the And look at that texture. That texture is wax as well. Now I'm going to blend all this in a minute so we can get some variation and various things. I'm going to put that brush away actually and go for the small one because I want to be a bit more detailed. Small sky and cloud brush. I'm going to grab the old grey from there, natural grey, and we're going to use this just to bring a bit of dark in. And I might even start to do a little bit of lappy wave at this point. Lappy wave, you know, where you sort of go up and down kind of thing like that. So you can get a bit more of a sea kind of effect. But look at the reflection of both of those items. Let's come back about with the camera. It looks really nice, really effective. And again, it allows you to bring that paint in so you get that lovely detail. If I clean the brush out really well here, just give it a tap on tissue, I can just fade it off into the edge of the picture because I've kind of gone for a vignette, one of them. And you can see how it just gives a lovely bit of blending. I love adding these little ups and downs and various things. They're effective, really nice that. As much water as you want just to fade it into your picture. And that wax is done as a great job of not only reflecting the moon but also reflecting the lighthouse as well. We can add a bit more to this as we progress, a bit more detail, that kind of thing, but I think at this point I can leave that to dry off a second while we revisit the old lighthouse. Now the video that is included with the sky and cloud brushes is, it's got 4 different skies. It's got like a sunset, a cloudy sky, a nighttime sky, and northern lights as well. That is sent to you on email, so that's included, but only if you use that code CRAFTSTORE and you check out through Watercolor TV. You'll get that £25 video sent to your email inbox with a big link that says click here to view the video, and that's included. Now remember, Watercolor TV members can also get a discount as well. What we're going to do here is use the brush flat again. Remember the blade. I'm going to drag out a few horizontal lines just to give the sea a bit more clarity. So just basically using the brush a little bit damp, and it washes the paint off with ease. So that's how you can use wax in the watercolors, which is really nice. Great little watercolor tutorial. Let's get close into this then. I want to work on the lighthouse itself at this point and just bring a bit of detail, but I think we're going to change brushes at this point. So I mentioned the brushes that come with the starter kit, and it's the super points, which are probably the most popular brushes that we have. You get a set of 3 of these. You get large, medium and small in the kit. You can buy them on their own if you want to. The small one, the small super point brush, you can actually see why it's called super point. If you take a look here, look at that brush. Can you see just how pointy that actually is? It's literally like having a little pen in your hand. So if we get really close in to what we're doing here, and if you grab some of the grey, take some of the grey, just give it a bit of a tap on tissue and hold this brush, small super point brush, hold it like a pen and literally use it like a pen, and we can start to bring in a bit of detail onto lighthouse. So I want to put in like a little bit of a kind of like a cross hatchy kind of thing. Sharpen this thing up a little bit. You can put as much detail as you want to on something like this. You are in full control. So as long as you've got this nice fine brush, I mean, you could even get a little bit of a walkway just creeping around that corner. You quite often get that on the lighthouse, don't you? And then we'll pop some little bands of colour, a little bit of a window, a little bit of a doorway, a few little sort of railings where the steps go down. You know, just little bits of incidentals, you know, that just make it look that little bit more interesting as a colour, as an object. I mean, it just goes to show how fine the brush is that we can actually pull in little bits of little bits of railings and things. I also think it's a good idea at this point as well, just to slightly bring in a reflection of those rocks. So I'm just going to sweep across. Now this will really not only enhance the sea, but also it'll enhance the reflection of the lighthouse as well. So little horizontal lines whizzing across. And that will give me a lovely sort of reflective effect. And you can see where we're going with this now, can't you? Quite pleased with that. I feel it wants something over here, over this side. And this is all part of the fun of doing this kind of thing. If I dilute the grey down quite a lot, so we've got that real pale grey, I just feel like I want to get a bit of distance over this side. So I'm just going to sort of do like a distant, you know, hill or something, or mountain or whatever. Doesn't really matter, does it? Just going to add. Working from the old imagination here today, so I'm just going to get a bit of water on this and just go in. While we're doing this, folks, just to mention what's coming up tomorrow. So tomorrow is the 13th of March 2025. I'm doing a live watercolour demo on my Facebook page, so do make sure that you follow me on Facebook, which is Matthew Palmer Artist. Do make sure you follow Matthew Palmer Artist. We've also got a watercolour group as well that you can join on Facebook, Matthew Palmer's Watercolour Group, so make sure you join it. A wonderful YouTube channel as well. I've got a YouTube channel, just Matthew Palmer. It's got about 150 subscribers, so do make sure that you subscribe to that. Also, yeah, tomorrow, live watercolour demo, totally different one, coming up tomorrow as well. Do make sure that you jump on that one for me as well, because I'd love for you to join me tomorrow for another demo, something different. It's actually a special thing in association with Search Press tomorrow, so that's going to be something that's quite exciting to do. Lovely picture, really pleased with that, folks. What I want to do here is give this a little bit of a dry again, so it's going to be a bit like watching paint dry again. Great time to jump on the website, or maybe it's a good time to think about adding this to your shopping basket. It's the 16th of March, it's the workshop, the Shambles. There we go, all nice and dry. What I want to do now then, folks, is I want to jump back over to the small sky and cloud brush. I want to use the pale grey again there, just a little tap on tissue. And what I want to do is just to paint in a few little slightly darker horizontal lines in the sea, just for balance purposes, before I put some light in. So I'm just going to work across here. And just skim across horizontally. I'm using the sort of flat part of the brush here, and what I'm doing is I'm sort of whizzing across, so I'm just adding little, just random horizontal lines of dark, really grey, natural grey. Sort of, it's helping the reflection of the moon. It's also going to help to give the sea a little bit of a movement effect, which is obviously quite important for this. But it will, more than anything, it'll just enhance what we're doing. So I'm using the flat part of the brush, the blade part of the brush here. I'm sort of, if you look at the sort of camera on the side here, I'm sort of using it like a, sort of dragging it almost at an angle. So it's giving that nice bit of lift and shape and form to the brush. Beautiful. I'm just going to turn that round a bit because it's an Australian seascape now. I always think it's a nice idea just to change direction when you're doing something like random horizontal lines, because what it does is it helps to lift up the effect of the paper there. Can't go wrong, can you? Beautiful, beautiful. Love that, love that, love that. Very, very quick blast with the dryer again, folks. Again, I'll tell you another joke, shall I, while I use the dryer. And the guy says, I'm sorry, we don't serve food here. Brilliant. Love it. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, loitering at the back of the studio is this wonderful drawer, which is full of all my paints. And here, I've got this colour, which is, oh, I'll cover my eyes and I'll get the camera to focus. Matthew Palmer's natural white. This is a game changer because natural white and watercolour is very difficult to work with. Okay, so I went and had this colour made for you guys, and it's an opaque watercolour that is perfect for putting highlights on a picture. It's an absolute game changer of a colour, so do enjoy this. So I've got the white, I've got a tube over here somewhere, bit of white, there it is. Now what I tend to do is I tend to put it on a little sort of scrap piece of paper because it just kind of gets in the palette otherwise. And I'm going to use that to put some highlights on. I'm going to use the small sky and cloud brush, and I'm going to put a bit of water, not too much, a little bit of water with it. Beautiful. So white paint is an absolute must. So what I've done is I've popped it on a bit of scrap piece of paper here, and I'm just going to get close into this moon here. So I want to put a bit of light in that moon. A bit of light in your moon. I want it to shine a little bit. So I'm just going to put a little bit of a white edge to it like that. I'll do that. We'll come back to that in a minute. Might even just put a little bit of light just on the edge of the clouds a little bit. Just, you know, as though the moon's catching the edge of the clouds. Bear with me. Just a smidge. Now what we'll do here is we'll clean the brush, because these sky and cloud brushes are lovely for blending. They're really effective for blending. So I can blend in the white that goes over the top of the moon. Just give it a bit of a blend. So that'll really make it just shine off the paper. And then also we can blend in the bottom of the white here as well. Now, most white paint, white watercolour that you get, you put it on and it kind of disappears, right, once it's dry. This particular one that we've got is super opaque, and it's also quite liquid. It comes out of the tube almost liquid, which means that you can use it. Look how nice that is. It's just changed it. Look how it's got layers all of a sudden. So it is white watercolour. Now, why is that important? You're thinking I could probably go and get acrylic or gouache. You can. The problem with them is that once they dry, they're permanent and you can't shift them. Now this, I could come back to this tomorrow and I could still say, well, it didn't quite blend so well, I'm just going to give it a tweak. But what a difference that's made to that picture. We can put some white in the sea as well here. I'm going to use the plastic card for this. I want to put the white on the edge of this plastic card. Hotel key cards work best. We're going to put that on there. Put that on there, son. Can you see the white on there? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And here, we're going to use the plastic card to put the waves on. Okay, so we're going to sort of stamp on a slight angle for this. Just going to do some little bits of rolling waves. Look at that. Can you see what a difference that's going to make? It's going to change it completely. Really effective little technique, this. Putting light in your sea, or whatever. But having a good quality white is essential for what we're doing here. You can see the little rolling waves, little taps, almost little horizontal taps on the paper. It's giving the water that sense of movement, that sense of light. Beautiful. And I love the white in the sky. Let's come back a bit, we can check that out, can't we? Look how nice that is, really effective. Of course, you could emphasize the lighthouse beams. I think that's probably got enough there. I quite like the way it looks, if I'm honest. But I'm just going to give it just a couple more little bits of white. The rain is coming down now in the studio, so if you can hear anything. Hailstones, I think. Look how nice that is. That little bit, just enough into it to give rolling waves, give a bit of texture. And again, it's just using a bit of white paint painted on the edge of a card. We could add a couple of little tweaks here and there. I'm going to use the small super point brush. Remember, that's the one you get in the little kit. Bit of water with it on the white. There it is. And I just want to get a little bit of detail around here. I just want to put some little bits of white just across the horizon, and maybe even just a couple of little added splashes just crashing up against the rocks there. Literally hailstoning outside. Can you hear it? Just going to give that a little bit of a tweak on there. Just put a bit of a highlight down the edge of the lighthouse there as well. Maybe in a few more little splashes and dots around. You could even emphasize the light coming from the moon as well, where the wax is. So that's been a lovely little painting today. I really enjoyed doing that today. It's been a nice little chill out. A bit of light just on the lighthouse. Every little helps, right? Let's take a look back at the picture, shall we? And see how we look. There we go. So that's how we're looking. That's made a lovely painting. I think we could have a seagull. Should we have a seagull? What about a bearded chuff? Yeah, let's have a chuff. Let's have a seagull up there, shall we? A bearded seagull. Catch you in. There you go, a seagull. Now, you can tell that's a seagull and not a chuff because it's got a sausage roll in its mouth. Yeah, proper seagull. That's what that is, proper seagull. But there we go, folks. That's made a lovely little watercolour. I love all the little finishing touches, the little highlights in the cloud, the light on the moon, the white in the water, the rolling waves. It's all given us a lovely watercolour painting. And let's just recap what we've got, folks. So midnight on the 15th, the code, craft store, no space. I'll show you how to use the code because I'm pretty sure that some people might want to know how to use it. Probably won't work now, you watch. What you do is you jump onto the website, folks, and you add the item to your basket. Let's say I want to buy this bundle here, okay? We add to basket. Now, you only pay 1p and P, so no matter what you put in the basket, you only pay 1p and P, which is great. So just bear that in mind as well. And here's where you type in. So just type in craft store, and then click apply coupon, and that'll take you 10% off, which is removed £16.60 from the kit. Now, if you're a Watercolor TV member, you can then put your second code in, which I'm not going to tell you because that's just for people that are Watercolor TV members. So you can get some real good offers, folks. There's some belters out there. Let's quickly recap while we've got a couple of minutes just to finish up. So I think the star of the show, 2 stars of the show in my opinion. First of all, the Watercolor magic mask is wonderful. It's £5. It's a no-brainer purchase if you do any kind of art. It's thick, it's opaque, it's designed to come off, it doesn't stick to brushes as much, it's heat proof, and it comes with a free video, so that's available. Watercolor magic mask, beautiful product. The sky and cloud brushes are on offer. You get 10% off those with the code craft store, but remember, if you buy them through the code craft store, you also get a free video that gets sent to you as well, which is on for 90 minutes showing you different sky techniques, just painting these lovely clouds with the rain coming down. All this just makes it so much easier to do. It makes it more of an easy way to paint effective skies. If you like the white paint, that's available. The grey's available. Everything is available online. And we should mention as well one last time, this Sunday we're doing a workshop, the 16th of March, painting the famous Shambles in York inspiration for Diagon Alley in the Harry Potter novels. If you've been to that location, you'll know how beautiful it actually is. So yes, you can get 10% off the workshop as well. Everything's got 10% off really until midnight. So listen, thank you to the craft store for supporting me doing this, and a big thank you to everyone that's been watching today's program. It's been a pleasure. Do please follow me on Facebook, Matthew Palmer Artist, and also on the YouTube channel as well. And hopefully you'll join me tomorrow, because tomorrow, which will be the 13th of March, I'll just double check the time for that one because I can't remember, if I'm honest. It is actually at 1 p.m, so 1 p.m. UK time tomorrow. We're doing another watercolour demo, a brand new picture, and that's something quite special with Search Press, so make sure you join me for that. Thanks for watching, folks. I'll leave you with this, and see you soon. Happy painting. Bye for now.